This 1987 Mazda RX7 FC belongs to my kid. He bought it. Now, he traded a broken dirt bike for what was a completely broken car. He dragged it home on a trailer, pulled it into the shop, and here it sat for a year while we worked through it. Tried to fix the thing, tried to make it run, rebuilt the engine. It was quite the journey. Well, we got to a point where the car would start once each day, and then it wouldn't start again. And that's how it was when Bryson left. Bryson's gone. He's left home to serve a mission for the church where he funds his own way to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with people in another area. While he's gone, I'm seeing what I can do to this car to make it be just a little better than when he left.
Okay, so I'm pretty excited about these parts. I've inspected them, they're in there. What I expected to be there is there, and they're all in good shape. Well, shall we see what's in the box? I looked at a lot of aero kits for the FC, and look, right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't know. I settled on the one from the Shine Auto project. I like their materials. They seem to get good reviews. I kind of wanted the full bumper, and they only make one for an S5, but the diffuser kit that they make seems like it should fill the void pretty well. So we're gonna give it a go. The bonus to the diffuser kit is that it's a carbon fiber print, so there's no paint on that one. It'll stay black, which I actually think looks pretty cool. So that'll stay that way. Side skirts, front bumper. I think I'm gonna do just a little bit of test fitting. I have to admit, the cosmetic stuff far and away makes me more nervous than any of the mechanical stuff. I think that's because you kind of get one shot at it. The mechanical stuff, if you screw it up, you're probably okay. This stuff, it only takes one wrong move and you've destroyed the whole part. I wouldn't consider this to be one of my favorite jobs, but I've had way worse. Like undercarriage work is terrible. Body work, it's kind of a no-brainer. With all of the nightmare stories that I've heard about these body kits, I kind of expected much worse. This one really hasn't been bad at all. The pieces fit almost perfectly. The material that they're using to build it must be quite unique because it's not brittle like fiberglass and it's not flexible like the KBD rubber. It's halfway in between. It's a fiberglass reinforced plastic. So it has some flexibility to it, but it retains its shape. Now, for right now, I'm taking the simple line. I'm just attaching things into place using some self-tapping screws in somewhat obscure areas, like up here. After the car's painted, and we do a more permanent installation, we'll use some tape and some other types of adhesives to hold things in place really well. I just want to make sure that things generally fit before I commit. Maybe no trim necessary. While I'm at it, I always wanted to stance the wheels just a little bit. The wheels that I found were well priced, and so I took what I could get. I think they're a 30, maybe a 35. Anyway, the front ones I like. I don't think I'd change a thing. The rear ones I wished were maybe just a tad wider and mostly to the outside so that it stances the car a little wider, a little more aggressive. I had some 5mm, about 1/4 inch spacers on here because those are in the front as well, so it was equally spaced. The front needed it just to be able to clear the shock tower. Back here, I put them on there just to keep them the same. I always wanted it to be just a little bit more aggressive, and so what I have now is a 1-inch spacer, which means that on the net I'm pushing it out 3/4 inch further than it was. We'll see how that looks. overall, I'm happy with how this turned out. I think this stuff from Shine Auto is probably as good a quality as I could hope for. The fit is really good, and I think it will be durable. So I'm liking it. And interestingly, I've already had a couple of comments on how much better the car looks. My biggest beef with it right now is this. I ordered the side skirts that are a little more aggressive, and you'll notice they tend to stick out just a little bit. I think they look great. The problem is that if I don't remember to push my foot out quite a ways as I step in and out of the car, I catch on it right here, and I'm a little bit worried about how well it will hold up after a few trips in and out of the car. As long as I remember to kick my foot out, it's fine, and I think it'll be better after I get the thing permanently attached. But until then, I have to be a little bit careful. I've been driving around with only 2 screws holding the side skirt on. One right there at the rear fender, and another screw right here at the front fender. That's it. And it's held on just fine. The front bumper has probably 4 screws in it, so there's just not a whole lot holding things together. I also like the spacing on the rear wheel. I feel like the gap on that's about right. And while I think it might be nice to lower the car maybe another, I don't know, inch or so, we're getting really close. Finally, I did test fit the diffuser a little bit. I didn't actually screw it on there. I decided that that one would be easiest to do with the car in the air, and I really don't need to do it prior to painting the way I need to do the others, because it mounts up underneath in the substructure, not so much out on the body panels. So yeah, I did test fit the diffuser. I just don't have it on there right now. But it looks pretty sharp as well. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a fill on the back end. The car's reached a point where it's fun to drive. It's all pretty solid mechanically. Starts up every time. And I tend to carry the computer around with me so that I can be constantly monitoring the tune. And I do make a couple little adjustments here and there, but for the most part, it's done. Lighting's a little weird. I guess I didn't pull out far enough. So I have to tell you a funny story. I get to talk to Bryson once a week, face to face, over, I don't know, what do we use? Facebook or something. We use some kind of a messenger. So we talk face to face, and he asked about his car. I don't think he has any idea. Let's keep it that way. As soon as I get a couple of things out of the way in the shop, I'm bringing this into the paint booth. We'll start with the pieces. I'll paint the bumper cover, the side skirts, the doors, the hood, the fenders, and the rear spoiler first. And then once those are done, I'll take the car in and paint the rest of it and hope for the best. It's always just a little bit scary when we do that. I'm not a painter. I enjoy it. I'm just not particularly good at it. So, hey, stay tuned. It's looking good.